Welcome to a very special PD chat show. It's been a while, hasn't it, guys? Obviously, towards the end of last year. But as you can see, we're in our new home now, and this is a fantastic place we're going to be from now on, hopefully, for the foreseeable future. It's getting bigger and better all the time. Well, I'm in the studio. Obviously, we've got the live room as well, with all the clinics that are happening. So, yes, so we're back for the PD chat show. Now, as you can see in the corners and everything else, obviously, we have got two logos in today, and this is why the special chat show is here today. There's an amazing event which is happening on the 15th to the 22nd of May. It starts at 10 o'clock on the 15th of May and goes in the morning, so 10 a.m, and it goes through to 10 p.m. on the 22nd. So that's the Saturday to Saturday, and it is the Drumathon. So it's a Drumathon 2021. Now, obviously, we can talk about a little bit of the sort of people we're going to basically bringing in, so the organisers and all that stuff. But just quickly about it, it's an amazing course. Last year, it was obviously we was in such a difficult times for everyone. The Drumathon actually was for the NHS, but this time it's actually for We're Drumming for Mental Health, which obviously is very, very big. It hits most of us within our lives. If it doesn't hit yourself, then you know somebody who actually has that has issues with the sort of mental health. So it's going to be for that. So please look up. It's drumathon.live. But also, if you're watching this, then obviously say hi as well, because this is what it's all about. So you guys are giving us basically the information that you want. So you're talking to us through the comments. So please in the comments say hi. So just going to read a couple out who's watching. So Rodrigo, I have to say this. Hello, Mum and Dad. Thank you. And Diana, David Homer, so Russell, Kenneth, Russell Everett, Glyn Joe, Stay Homer, Mike Roy. Thank you very much for watching. I will read these out as we go along to say hi. Please say hi in the comments as well, and then we'll go from there. So there's nothing else to say apart from actually to bring on the sort of masterminds, I suppose, behind the Drumathon. Now, the Drumathon, obviously, I said was last year by one guy basically who just had this idea to see what he could do to give back. So, can I have on the screen, please, Errol Kennedy and Bev Sage, please, if they're going to be coming in any minute. So, guys, they will be basically on screen in any second now. So, and here they come now.
Hey, here we are.
There we go. Thank you ever so much. So I was just telling everyone about the journey, obviously, from last year. I didn't give too much away, but can you just give a little bit of a background, first of all, of yourselves, who people who don't know, very short background, and obviously the background as well of why at 10 o'clock on the 15th of May, we're starting this amazing journey, which is the Drumathon 2021.
Well, I think we should start with the legendary platinum award-winning Errol Kennedy from Imagination.
We should actually start with Bev Sage, the Techno Twins, right? But I'm going to take this one.
You take it.
Okay. Well, I'm Errol Kennedy, and one of the founders of Drumathon Live. You probably, as Bev said, know me from the group Imagination, and we're sort of like 80s. Band, so
they were mega back in the 80s, actually,
yeah.
And I was their support act, believe it or not, back in the day. And as the Techno Twins, we supported Imagination on their first ever tour.
Yeah, the Dominion, and we actually sold out that for 3 weeks before we actually launched on the whole
European tour. And it was great because back in the 80s, there were people like, it was everybody from Madness, George Michael, Annie Lennox, all that crowd, coming to see each other. We kind of cheered each other on.
Yeah, it was.
So it was great. So that's how we first met back in the day, and how the Drumathon happened. Well,
how the Drumathon happened is that we had a fire in our house. We were out for 3 weeks, and we got it back in at the last minute. I was up on the ladder painting the ceiling because all the builders had gone.
We literally skidded out in the night of lockdown after 3 months out, and
then Bev grabbed me and says, "Oh, we got the NHS. Everybody's going out."
There's a clap. You do remember that very first clap? It seemed to be so. We were just so moved. But we grabbed 2 bins. And we grabbed 4 drumsticks and we went out on our balcony, and those bins did not survive.
Bev obliterated them, actually.
We just went potty. But we were so moved, really moved by it, actually, because we realised people were like, around the corner at Homerton Hospital, people laying down their lives to look after us. And it was really, really moving. and we connected up with some friends.
Yeah.
And then the next week, Errol came down with his snare drum.
Yeah, but I mean, just to wind the tape back a little bit. I mean, what was extraordinary is that, as Bev said, we smashed the bins on that first week. But the second week, well, from there we said, so what could we do? So I got my snare drum and started to smash it, and the whole neighborhood came out, and
everybody, it was one of those things on the street. We were in Hackney, and everybody's dancing with their pans and everything, but it was more and more moving. Yeah. And we said, what can we do?
And here's the thing: it was because while we had the fire, I had to go to the hospital. I'm not going to go into exactly all the things are, but we were really thankful to the.
We both had big cancer scares that we got through, which was fantastic. So we were deeply grateful. So
it's through that gratefulness of how we were treated and how we felt the NHS was so precious. I mean, you've got to realise in some country, they just don't have these sort of facilities. You don't have.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at India now, it's like heartbreaking, isn't it? We're so blessed.
We've been in America, like maybe some of the people listening, and if you fall on the street and you haven't got a credit card, you don't get to the hospital. Do you know what I mean? But through that, we were really grateful. So we said, so again, what can we do? So we then, as I said, smashed the drums. And the following week after that, I said, gosh, maybe I could do 3 days non-stop drumming.
So I thought, what? I said, how about starting with 12? And he said, well, I'll do 24. Yeah. And he did 24. And, it was all before live streaming. Yeah. So, we didn't even really know what GoPros were then. And we lashed up the internet, and neighbours had to leave boxes to help us out with things. And we had to leave it 3 days before we could bring it in. And we lashed it all up. Yeah, I mean, we didn't have GoPros, as Bev said. We had to ask friends. But interestingly, we didn't have all the equipment back because obviously our place is totally empty. So we're getting furniture and stuff, and our clothes is coming back in. And anyway, we finally got the room, my room together. I had a practice kit, and hence the Drumathon start from there. It was brilliant. And Finn and David, who are really on board with us still, they're our major studio technical crew, and they make it live stream. They really helped us do it. And we went live, and Errol obviously drummed. I crawled around on the floor to make sure he could eat and be okay. And we realized a minute before we went on air that we didn't have a microphone. Yeah. So I had to handwrite every social media message and pass it up to Errol to say thank you. But he raised $7,000, and that would have been great if Captain Tom hadn't gone. So then we got a group of 20 drummers together, drummed for 250 hours, and that was the start of Drumathon Live. Yeah.
So that's the start of Drumathon 2020. Obviously, we're now going into 2021. So I think it's about time we brought some of the participants, or should we say, mad people, going to enter there, including myself. Everybody knows I'm mad anyway. So Paul, can we bring on, please, some of the guys actually going to be involved in this amazing effort? That's basically from the 15th to the 22nd of May. So we've only got really, theoretically, 14 and a half days before it all kicks off. So while everyone's coming onto the screen, we can see now. Here they come.
Hello,
guys.
Still coming in all the time now. Look at this. There should be a couple more, I think. But yes, so we have Vicky. Welcome, Vicky. Welcome to the chat show. We have Loz. Well done, Loz. Ali. Mike, welcome. I'll come to you individually. But first of all, we have to... Oh, there's Meg.
Meg.
Hello, Meg. Fantastic.
Hello.
Excellent. So, this is obviously, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint, this is, obviously, because it's over 260 odd hours. Thanks, Mum. It's what we want to do is just basically just go around individually and just say exactly why you're part of this Drumathon 2021, what you're actually going to be doing, how long you're going to do it for, and what it actually means to you. And guys, when you're watching, obviously, please put in the comments. If obviously we've been sharing this all over social media for the last 18 weeks. What does it actually mean to you guys out there as well? Please put in the comments, and I will read out as much as I can. So, Vicky, I'm going to come to you first. I believe, Vicky, are you in Finland?
I'm from Finland, but I'm actually not in Finland at the moment. I live in Swansea in Wales.
Oh, that'll do. That's international. It's fine.
Finland
Can you tell us
Nigel.
your participant? Hello, Nigel. Come to you in a minute. Fantastic. Just tell us your participant in this Drumathon 2021. What you're going to do and actually what it means to you as well.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna be doing a 1 hour long set, and I've just been trying to pick the songs for that, which has been hard actually, because there is so when you really start to dive in and think, well, what do I want to share? It's so many things from the decade that I have been performing and working as a drummer. But what I've sort of decided that I want to do is that I'm going to perform a few of my own songs, and then I'm going to mix that with a few collaborations that I've done working, and also a few artists I've worked for, and then a few of my own remixes. That's something I've started doing recently, make my own YouTube remixes of cover songs, and then I'm also just gonna perform a few of my favorite covers. So that's basically gonna be the mixture of what I'm doing.
Fantastic. Lars, going to come to you next. Welcome. I'm going to do a lot of welcomes. I say there's people coming in all the time. Yay! Thanks, Nigel.
Nigel's going crazy.
If you want to switch off if you want to actually unmute yourself and just be part of it, if you want to make noise, please do. So switch your cameras off. No, don't switch your cameras off. Switch your mics off. It'll be absolutely brilliant because then we can hear you. Yeah, no, thanks, Nigel. Yeah, very, very. Lars, come to you next. What are you doing as part of this Drumathon?
What am I doing? So I'm going to be playing songs that I suppose songs that I drummed on, songs from my band, songs of other people that I've worked with. And I like to do that, but I also like to put a twist on it by maybe sort of remixing them and rearranging them a little bit and making different versions. So mainly that really. But I did, for the last Drumathon, I watched a lot of people perform and I saw how much fun it was to play covers as well. So I'm going to throw in a few random covers and just, basically stuff that music I like and in some ways just stuff that could be fun to drum to, because I think, you're doing it for 12 hours and it's nice to have a little, just to keep yourself interested.
So you're doing the 12-hour stint then?
I'm doing the 12-hour stint, yeah.
Right, excellent. Now I'm going to come to Ali. Ali, now I believe 12 hours for you is not very long, is it?
Yeah, I do that for breakfast. That's what I do. Yeah. So I'm going to do 12 hours also on the 19th, and yeah, I'm from Northern Ireland, and I can play the drums for over 100 hours. I have 2 Guinness World Records, one at 58 hours 17 minutes, one at 102 hours and 49 minutes. I don't currently hold the world record. It's sitting at 135 hours, but yeah, maybe one day I'll challenge it.
Yeah, that's the autumn edition of Drumathon. So that's you don't know you're involved. Mike, we'll come to you next. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing. Obviously, you've got rudiments behind you, so you playing all your rudiments?
Hello, good evening, everyone. And yeah, my name is Mike, and I'm based down in Hove, Brighton, at the sea front with all the lovely ice creams. And everyone's now coming down here out of lockdown, so it's quite friendly again. And I have volunteered myself to play for 12 hours.
Well done.
Which I've never done before. But that's okay because I've never done a Drumathon before, so this is all new ground for me, and I'm going to be doing a 2-hour set, roughly 2-hour set of cover tunes. So hopefully people will know them, and I'm doing a massive range from hopefully Frank Sinatra through to Van Halen and something in between. So hopefully there'll be something that people will enjoy. And yeah, obviously it's all for the cause of raising the money for these 5 mental health charities, which are doing such great jobs. So any way to support all the charities for them to help support people who've obviously struggled and will struggle before and after the COVID pandemic, it's got to be a great cause, following on from raising money last year that the drummers did for the NHS. So I'm very, very pleased and delighted to be involved with all that, Matt.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Meg, I believe that you did something special for last year's Drumathon, but tell us about that in a minute. But what you're going to be participating, how long you're going to do it for, and then tell us what you did last year as well.
So this year I'm only doing 3 hours, unfortunately. I have to have a second operation on my foot, so 12 hours is just not feasible. Unfortunately, I would have loved to, but Bev and Errol were like, no, let's think about this rationally now.
No.
Let's not do that.
With a broken leg.
Yeah.
Meg actually said to us, she said, look, it doesn't matter how bad it gets because I'm going in for an operation to get it fixed.
Yeah.
So that's fine. And we just said, no, you've got to look after yourself. So we said 1 hour and then we compromised on 3.
And before Meg starts, I've got to say, Meg is a legend because last year at the end of when she did her 12 hours, we found out that she'd actually
drummed with a broken
foot for 12 hours.
Yeah.
Amazing. Sounds like you're a bit accident prone as well.
No, it's one injury that's lasted this long.
The only problem
Tell them what it was, Meg. Go on, tell them what it was.
I was touring last year, and on our day off in Amsterdam, the band thought, let's go karting, and I got crashed into by the singer. Of course, it has to be the singer, but yeah.
The thing is, it's like, you taking all my limelight, how dare you, I'm going to crash you. Yeah, I've had a fortunate incident with a... we won't go that far, but yeah, I was basically going to win, but they just pushed me off the track. But that's enough about me. But what did you do last year? You built something, didn't you, for the auction?
Yeah, so last year I built 2 custom snare drums out of drumsticks. So one was 13 inches, which was made up of all the celebrity sticks. And then we had a very special 14-inch snare drum, which was made from all of the Drumathon 2020 family sticks.
Amazing.
And Meg, just tell the story of why that happened, if you can remember it. Can you remember? I was feeling pretty down when we spoke.
Yeah, so Bev had said to everybody, we're going to have signed sticks. We're going to put them into the auction. It's going to be great. So everyone was on board to sign the sticks, get it done with. And the auctioneers were like, they don't go, they do not sell. So we had to scramble, and I was like, I don't just want to like chuck them away, like let's think creatively. So I thought, let's bang them into a snare drum and at least make something drum related that someone can love.
It was so good because that was Paul Martin, Matt, you know, the guy who is a drummer auctioneer on BBC Flog It. And he literally said to me he'd been in a room with a very famous drummer who I will not mention, and all he had was his signed sticks, and he couldn't give them away for 15 quid.
Yeah.
So he said, one thing I don't need is signed sticks.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Had you ever made a snare before? Had you ever done it before? Was that like the first one?
That was the first proper full-on one I did. So it was a labour of love. I think I went a bit insane after it.
But they all went for like £1,000 each anyway. So
you were big round of applause.
Well brilliant. Well done. We'll see what can happen this year. I've got my signature sticks ready for you. Nigel, welcome to the PD Chat Show. Tell us a little bit what you've been doing and your involvement within this Drumathon.
Loz got me involved because I saw him doing it last year, and I love Loz because he's fantastic. Who wouldn't love Loz? Anybody who knows him loves him. But I said, hey, if it's happening again, get me involved. And it's happening again, and he got me involved. And I'm doing a 12-hour stint, and I decided I'm being nostalgic. So the first song I'm playing is the first demo I ever recorded, and then I'm going chronologically through my career and playing 12 hours worth of songs that I've played on up until stuff from my most recent solo album, which came out at the beginning of this year. So it's basically it's 12 hours, no repeats. It's like some radio station, no repeat workday, 12 hours.
Wow.
That's amazing. So, as I say, it's everyone out there. So, guys, if you're watching, you know, I can see lots of people watching. I'm just going to shout hello to a few people who are actually watching us at this moment. I think I said hello to Martin. I think we've got there, Martin. Video quality is very blurred. There's a lot of people going on, so we'll try and figure that out for you, Martin, at home. Richard Powell, thanks very much. Fami is watching. Lots of different people. David Homer, Martin Ollie, yes, I said Kenneth, right, they're all watching. Thank you very much, guys. If you are watching this, please spread the news. This is a very special one because obviously we're trying to raise money for mental health. So we're drumming for mental health. We will need all of our mental strength to actually get through this, but we're all in it together, and we'll basically hopefully raise a load of money to basically help everyone out there who struggles with mental health. It's a big issue. It's something that obviously hits us all sometimes, whether it's not yourself, but you don't have other people. So please do share this because we want to get as many people as we need and more to actually know about this Drumathon, which is happening in 14 and a half days. I keep saying that. When this actually finishes at 10 o'clock, it will be precisely 14 and a half days before it kicks off. So there we are. Now, I do believe we've got a couple more people joining in. They'll be joining in a minute. But the people on the screen, can you give me just a couple of words, literally just a couple of words, what this actually, what are we doing this for, so for mental health, what it actually means to you? So I'll start with Vicky, because I've spoken to you for a while. What does this actually mean to you in a few words?
I think, yeah, mental health is a huge part of the work that I've been doing. I've co-founded two charities, one called Girls Rock London and one called Rock Donna in Finland, and that's music camps for girls and gender minorities. And mental health is very much the driving force behind that, and using music as a vehicle for that and a way to express yourself. And when I heard about Drumathon Live, I just thought it was such an incredible and amazing initiative, and I'm so grateful to be a part of that and to do my little contribution to it. And I'm also going to try to share this event in Finland and hopefully get some people there on board and just make them aware of this event. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks. Thank you. Loz, in a few words, what does this charities and everything this is what basically standing for means to you?
I think mental health is at the very least as important as physical health. And you know, just even looking at the people on the screen now, you could be looking at someone and they might seem all right and they might be doing okay, but you know, they might be struggling, and it's important to touch base with that and do what you can to help them. So yeah, that's why I'm doing it.
Mate, great. We've got a couple more people coming in. Fantastic. We'll come to you in a minute. We'll come to a minute. Ali, just a couple of words. What does this Drumathon and mental health? What does it actually mean to you?
Yeah, well, mental health, this event especially is very important for me. Last year was also important. My partner, Sharon, passed away there in January with pancreatic cancer. So the last lot of months have been very difficult for me. This has given me a lot of focus, and I'm really buzzing to get started and share everything I can to all my friends regarding mental health, because as Laws has mentioned, we don't really know what's going on in people's minds, and if we can do an event that people can dance to, enjoy the music, then you know, we can spread the word and get people out there trying to maybe open up a bit and speak to someone about their mental health.
Thank you very much. Keith Floyd, hello, thanks for watching. And also Duncan Campbell, he says, Ali Brown, the machine. You'll actually see his 12 hours. It won't even, sort of bead of sweat won't even come onto his brow. Mike, in a few words, what does this mean to you?
Well, Matt, I think it's one of those things that people don't like to talk about what might be happening. It's a bit like the guys have just already said. It's a very non-visible physical thing that can happen with people, and they can struggle and they find it very hard to cope, and they don't know where to turn sometimes because they may feel shameful of the fact that they may also be feeling quite weak. I certainly have found this last year particularly difficult just due to not being able to go out to go and visit my mum, who lives 200 miles away from me. Noticing all of her anxiety and trying to help her, but equally I was feeling a lot of pain knowing that she was on her own. So, you know, you have to go through these things, and sometimes it's something that you cope with on your own, but actually it's also good to not be afraid to tell somebody else that you do need help. So the more people that understand that mental health issues need to be looked at and supported, I think it's a great way forward to get rid of that stigma.
Yeah.
The silent disease, I suppose they call it.
Silent disease, yeah, definitely. Thank you very much. Guys out there, if you're watching, yes, we are talking about obviously sort of a very serious subject, which obviously hits us all. But if you've got any questions for any of these drummers on the screen, now's your opportunity. Hi, David Hanley, for watching. Thank you very much. Yeah. Put them in the comments below. Obviously, smash that like button on the Palace Drum Clinic and you'll get all the information about the Drumathon and obviously everything that goes on, especially during that week of the 15th to the 22nd of May. So please do your best. Meg, I'm just going to disappear off screen again, but just in a few words, please can you give me what this means to you?
I think especially in these past lockdowns, mental health has been horrific for some people. I lost someone really close in my family due to drug addiction and mental health issues, actually. And that came as a real shock, actually. And it was mostly, like everybody said, it's such a silent battle and people shouldn't feel the pressures to feel ashamed or guilty for how they're feeling. Whatever gender you are, like there's so much pressure and stigma around men and their mental health as well, which I think really needs to be addressed because most of suicides in the UK are male. And I'm doing this because it's time to end the tabooness of mental health. Everybody deserves to have a healthy mental attitude and to live the best life that they possibly can without fear of judgment. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much. Meg. Just before I come to the people who've just logged on to us, thank you very much. Don't look so serious. It's great. Great to be there. Nigel, what does this mean to you?
Well, I mean, everybody else has already said everything, so I'm going to have to take a slightly different tack in that having this to focus on is actually being really good for my mental health because, you know, there hasn't been much other stuff going on. So having something to focus on has been very positive for me. And if I can do this and then also help support other people in other ways who need it, it's just a complete win-win. So hooray for Errol and Bev and all who sail within them.
Oh, bless you.
Brilliant. Martin Ollis just said, well said, Meg. So, you know, yeah. You have hit a lot of people there, so thank you very much. Now we've got some fantastic new people arrive. Terrell, how you doing?
Good to see you. And good to see everybody else on here. Lovely, friendly faces.
Yeah, so good.
What are you, do you want me to say something about?
You can do if you want me to lead you in.
Well, I just say the danger is leaving me in is I can chat away for ages. So.
Fine.
Want to come back to me? Say hello to everybody else.
Yeah, no. Basically, we're just saying, you know, it's very relaxed, but we want to, give everyone a little bit of sightseeing. But please tell us what your involvement is within Drumathon 2021 and what you'll be doing.
Well, I've known Bev since the 80s, and I toured with her, and I've got to know Errol over the last year, and got involved in last year's event when Bev called me up and told me about it. I was just absolutely delighted, and just like Nigel said, you know, it really gave me a sense of purpose at the time, but also. Because we all felt so helpless. All this stuff's going on. What can we do? But you know, I was just listening to what everybody else was saying a little bit about, mental health.
I think we're live. So welcome everybody. Is that you, Stuart?
Yeah, guilty. Sorry.
That's fine. Share it. Just share it. Just share it over. So everyone just keep sharing everything. You know.
Oh, that's exactly what I was doing.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that, you know, I grew up in what would be arguably a very nice English middle class family in the Midlands. I was born in the early 60s, and but everything fell apart. The family fell apart. My father's business and everything came crashing down. And I had this interest in drumming. And when I left school at 16 to become a drummer because I'd already become impassioned by it. But the drumming gave me not only honestly, my life was all over the place. I was into all sorts of stuff, and my life was a real mess. But drumming gave me an anchor, and I learned so much about life through drumming over these many decades now. And I come to this point, and we realise that now we're in a time in history where everything's up for grabs. We don't trust authority figures. We don't know who's right. We don't know just because someone's got some kind of authorised to be a government figure, or a policeman, or whatever. We don't trust anybody anymore. We don't know where we fit or where we belong. But if you play drums, you know that when you pick up your sticks and sit down and lock into a groove, that you're going somewhere, that you belong to something, and you feel this sense of stability and reassurance. I wonder whether the others would agree with me with this, but my drumming has been a massive anchor for me on the whole journey of my life, and remains so. And I believe in its power and purpose. And when I just absolutely love it that these guys, we're all coming together, and we're, like Meg says, we're all from very different cultures, age groups, identities, colour, everything. And what we represent is something so precious. And we all pick up our sticks and launch into the rhythm, and we're all going somewhere in the same direction to make a point that is absolutely profoundly important in the times we're living in. So that's my little sermon, really. And I'm just so proud and honoured to be part of this, and to get to know some of you. And it's not about celebrities. It's not about everything. It's about the heartbeat of what we're all doing together. And I just love it. So thank you for
and we'd just love to come in on that, if that's okay, Matt, for a second, because this is the heartland of where we've come from, really. And where this started was last year. The NHS thanked us because they put the money towards wobble rooms, and that was the first moment as a Drumathon family everyone registered that they wanted to do this year for mental health, and that was last October. And from a personal viewpoint, I had a mother that suffered from chronic schizophrenia from my childhood. So I know what it is to live in the world of someone who really is a beautiful human being, but they struggle massively with mental health issues. So, and also, I was widowed when my kids were 6 and 8, and one of the charities as well is Child Bereavement UK. So we've got Mind, we've got Child Bereavement UK Trauma Council, quite a lot of them. And I just want to echo what everyone has been saying, which is that drumming is phenomenally helpful. When, you know, my son was 6 years old when his father died, and he picked up a set of drumsticks and some saucepans. And I have to say that his drumming is fantastic. He's now 33. He's off the hook. He's creative. He's PhD. He got all sorts of mix of science and art. And I know it wasn't his mothering skills, it was the drumming skills that kept his mind focused and gave him such an opportunity to learn. And so the passionate stories that Ali, Meg, Turl, Loz, you know, all of you have shared, and Vicky with what you're doing, and Nigel, everyone, you know, this comes from a massive heart place. And the drummers are real heroes in this, you know, really amazing.
Oh, definitely. Just before I come to Stuart, there's a couple of I want to read out from our guest. Gaynor, hello. Gaynor, one of our many regulars over the last 12 months. So the last 12 months have been tough mentally, but drums have certainly helped me. I think it does. It's one of those instruments that you can release a lot of stress, can't you? It's as I think as Terrell, as you said, when you find that one groove and you sit there, the world's a happy place, isn't it? It doesn't matter where you are in your time. A world is a happy place. And also, it's Kenneth, he's saying, yes, that helps me mix with being a shy kid, but drumming gave me confidence, and I can now play on stage with a band. It's just magic. 40 years down the line and it works. It's one of those things. Yeah, sorry, I went off screen there. I'm just dying off. But yes, it's drumming for me. Is one thing. I'll come to my story later on when I've spoken to all you amazing people. Stuart, thank you very much for joining us at the PD Chat Show.
Thanks for having me.
Your involvement. What are you going to be doing in the Drumathon? How long and why?
I'm on a night shift, so I'll be doing 12 hours from 10 till 10 on the 20th of May from a little studio in the heart of Essex. I got involved. I originally saw Drumathon on Facebook and got in touch with Errol and Bev because firstly I was interested to write about the project because it's such an amazing thing. I was interested in it. I have a history in my family and personal sort of mental health challenges that I think many of us have done over the years. And it brought together sort of two of the things that I'm quite passionate about, which is helping people who are struggling with mental health and playing drums, which I've done all my life. And to have the opportunity to get involved and actually, be able to play for 12 hours and raise some funds is fantastic for me. I mean, it's amazing. And in such great company as well.
Yes, no, as I say, the people obviously know, so the PD Chat Show over the last 12 months or so. We're one big happy family. We just like to share stuff in the drumming community. We're a very special breed.
Absolutely, totally, yeah. It's something Bev and I talked about right in our first call, was that drummers seem unlike any other. I'm not saying other musicians don't share, but the drumming community is so open to sharing ideas. It's very non-judgmental. Everybody has their own certain skills or different levels, but it's everyone's open to sharing their ideas with everybody else, and it's a real community.
Yeah, and obviously we all pull together at times like this, for drumming for stupid amount of hours because that's what we do. Thanks, Stuart. Coming to Emma. You've got a keyboard behind you, not a drum kit, so hopefully you won't be playing your keyboard for 12 hours. You will be drumming, but tell us a little bit about your involvement, what you'll be doing, how long for, and why.
Well, yeah, I'm certainly not playing my keyboard for 12 hours. No one wants to hear that. Yeah, that's just very much for my kind of single-fingered Moog kind of grimy bass that I do occasionally, just to let off a bit of steam. I got involved through a friend of Bev's, and she recommended me and said, "Oh, you should get involved in this." And then I got chatting to Bev and Errol, and they're so privileged, again, like everyone else has said, just so privileged to be part of such a lovely team. And I genuinely do feel like, it's been such a great anchor for my mental health as well. The way that everyone has just been so open. I've been chatting with one or two people just instantly. I've already made some friends. So that's just been super lovely. And that just kind of reinforces like what a lovely community this is. So yeah, I'm also doing a night shift as well, like Stuart. And I'm mainly my set list is still building. It's almost there, but it's mainly going to be a lot of old school funk and a bit of hip hop and some modern pop as well. So a real mixture of things that make me happy. I've been focusing on what makes me happy to play. Yeah. Because drumming really, like everyone says, it's not only intellectual, you have to engage your mind consciously, it's also physical and it's emotional as well. And all of those things really just enhance our mental well-being. Like I've woken up sometimes from the late nights we all have gigging, and you feel terrible in the morning. But then, as soon as you get behind that kit on the next night, you just start to feel magical again. And just even the anticipation of the gig that night, it just gets you excited and makes you feel like, oh, this is.
I don't know about anybody, you might be nodding heads, but I've never felt tired behind my drums. It's incredible, isn't it? It's okay, yeah. So when you're in the 90th hour, remember And situations basically, oh, I've got to set my kit up. But once you're sitting behind your drums, you're in your happy place again, aren't you? So it's absolutely fantastic with there. Guys out there, if you're watching, thank you very much for watching. Vicky, thanks so much for joining. Obviously, share it out with your contingent out in Finland. Thank you very much for joining us from Wales. Thank you very much. Have a great session at the Drumathon, and we'll see you, obviously, in the Drumathon in a few days' time. Take care. Bye-bye, and there's Vicky gone. Obviously, during the day, during the evening, people are going to be popping on, popping in, popping out, popping in again, doing whatever they want to do. It's all that kind of stuff. So they're very happy to basically come in and out whenever you want, because obviously we all have busy lives. We've got lots of things to do, including practicing for our sets in 14 and a half days' time. That's a lot. Doing that. So I think we've got another couple of people coming on now. So, but people out there, please put your guests on. David Campbell said, "Mike, you're the best crack." Oh, here we go. Look at this. We've got Gary and we have Vincenzo. Hello, guys. Welcome to the chat show. I'm going to come to Vincenzo first because you've got a mic in front of your face. Welcome. For joining us this evening. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're going to be doing in the Drumathon 2021 and what it means to you?
I'm gonna answer you the second question first. To me, it means everything. It became the best thing actually. It's something real in a world that's becoming fake and fake every single second. It's a lot of people that are really trying to do something to help other people, using the passion that made us become what we are today. That's why we don't have an office job. We risked it all to play drums, man. You know, imagine the first time I told my mom, Mamma, io voglio fare il batterista. My mom is a teacher. My father was working in a bank, but he was a drummer. So my father understood and left the room. I'll leave you. But yeah, basically it wasn't easy. I couldn't study music because of course my mom said, no, you're crazy. So I had to study economy, and then coming back from uni, always in that room, coming back from school before that, always in that room, 2-3 hours. I want to do this, I want to learn that. And now we are able to use this to help other people. In order to do that, we created a family at the end. This is a big family of people. We are constantly in touch. We check on each other. We see what we can do, how we can help more. And regarding the fact what I want to do, I was talking with Gary actually in the waiting room. I would love to try. It's already a little bit complicated. I'm trying to sort everything out. I want to actually do a whole set that starts from the beginning of a day of a normal person. So I was thinking to divide it in section. So my opening song, I don't know if I want to reveal it but it's going to be an epic opening. And then I think I'm going to go a little bit smooth. Around 10 in the morning, I want to go do a little bit of yacht rock. So Christopher Cross, a little bit of this smooth, nice stuff. And then getting into the rock. And then I want to do this little session, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000. So by decades, I want to play what influenced me the most. I only have a problem.
Thanks, Terrell. See you soon. Great luck with the Drumathon. Thanks for dropping by.
Bye, Terrell.
Yeah. There we go. Thanks. Sorry, Vincenzo. Carry on, please.
No worries. Yeah, so as I said, I would like to play as much of the songs that really made me say, oh, I want to play this. I wish I did that groove. I only have a few issues with a few songs because I go a little bit of my heart is black like heavy metal. So there are a few things that I don't know how to really put some Meshuggah in there. Or some...
Vincenzo, it's nothing against you, but Loz is going as well. Thanks for joining us.
Loz.
We do.
I love everything you're saying, Vincenzo. This is brilliant. I'm sorry I have to go.
No worries, man.
I love everything you're saying. It's making me very happy. Bye.
Bye. Brilliant. Sorry. Carry on.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
promise
no,
no one else is going to leave. No one else will while you're talking. I promise.
No. Mostly that's my idea. I rather than repeating the same set, I want to create either 3-4 hours set. I don't know how to do this because I'm encountering a few issues with the actual streaming.
Right.
So I'm gonna do a general test and then I'll see if I'm gonna follow actually a 12-hour playlist with different songs for 12 hours.
Amazing.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much. A couple of people. Alan Witz, thank you for watching. Wendy Ritzel, I think that's right. Avril Waller. Oh, hello. That's my auntie. Thank you for watching, guys. Obviously, if you're watching for the first time, thank you very much for the PD joining us on the PD Chat Show. Please smash that like button, follow, because obviously we will be basically putting out everything for the Drumathon as well. Obviously, and also go to the drumathon.live and you'll see everything there where you can donate and also you can watch it as well live and you can dance to it as well. So we're going to dance, donate, and play for you. So yes, I don't know everyone's going to be dancing while they're playing the drums, but if you watch some people, they're fantastic. I just want to read something out. David Homer's basically talking about when we talk about the drumming community. He said, "I agree. The drumming community is inclusive, not judgmental. There are not bad drummers, just different drummers. Every drummer I know has been helpful and not competitive." Again, it's our community anyway. We're all individuals. We have that kind of roots and it's like where we come from, and you can definitely tell different people, the paths we've led. But we all basically have one thing in common. It's like people know, watching the chat shows over the last 12 months. So it's the music that matters. And for us, we're basically playing the music. And just so happens, it's the best instrument to play music on. So there we go. So that leads me to Gary. Gary O'Toole, thank you very much for joining the PD Chat Show. How are you?
It's an absolute pleasure, mate. I'm fantastic. Can you hear me?
Yes,
very fantastic. Yeah,
right.
We agree.
I've had an awful lot of thoughts about exactly how I would like to actually approach the day. The day has fundamentally been something that was set up beautifully last year. It was set up with the idea that we would be able to help people by doing what we do. And what we do is help people anyway, just because we play in a band, and it lightens the spirit when you hear music, and it helps you to grow when you hear music. And what we do as drummers is we put down what's essentially, the kind of full stop, the comma, we are capable of actually guiding the music in so many different directions. The music that I've played through my life has been everything from clubs and pubs to working in West End shows, sight reading things, shows like Cats, We Will Rock You, all the way through doing sessions. I've had I've had #1 singles. I've been on all sorts of albums. I have learnt so much about me. I've learnt to be a better person. I've learnt it because I've actually taken what I've learnt on drums as a way of learning. And the funny thing is that this gets sidestepped. So, very often people don't realize. It was often said that historically, the Chinese have been very, very intelligent people, really very, very capable of learning an awful lot of stuff. They put systems in place to allow that. And really, I think as we've grown as a society, a lot of these systems are in place. As long as you've taken something, in our case, drums, music, and you dedicate your time to understanding it, it then means that you've learned so much that you can pass on to others. And that's apart from the feeling that hopefully you've learned to be able to put across. This is a very heartfelt thing for me for a number of reasons. I think when we had the conversation with Errol and Bev, I was quite vocal in my desire to have mental health as a main focal point, because I know an awful lot of drummers that have actually been through hell. On a personal level, this last 5 years has been really, really tough, really rough. But because I've got a goal and I've got a support network here, and these guys are all new. They're all new to me in the past 12 months. You know, Errol and Bev and I had never met until 3 days before the last Drumathon. And I got a telephone call saying, "Here, Gal, Errol, you know Errol Kennedy from Imagination?" I went, "Yeah, I think we've met once." He said, "Yeah, well, he's actually doing a thing. Do you want in?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm doing nothing else. Yeah, why not? Let's go and help somebody." And just with that mindset, it's actually enabled so much. And I've got to say again, on a personal level, it's actually helped me because I've made some connections that are really caring people that have actually helped me through some particularly hard times, specifically in this last 12 months. So I know that whatever we do will help people. I just know it.
Yeah, thank you very much. I say we've had a lot of different, obviously, chat shows throughout the last 12 months or so, and there has been occasion where people, because of the first lockdown that we were in, their mental states, because obviously everything was taken away from all of us, and it was a case they looked forward to basically our chats on Saturday night, because it was just like an escapism for them. Because all we didn't talk about the politics, we didn't talk about sort of the situations in. We just talked about the music and the drums and basically, you know, different aspects and all that. And you'll be surprised what that actually did to some people, actually, to gear them up ready for that week, because it just gave them escapism. And then they were ready for the next week, and then it came around again, because obviously, you know, weeks are hard. You know, every day was virtually Groundhog Day, which I think we all experience. If you haven't watched the film, please watch the film, because then you'll know where the phrase comes from. And also people out there watching. I know people are trying to comment. Thank you very much for comment. But if you've got an individual comment for any of the amazing people on the screen, write it down and I'll read it out. But you can only basically do it at the moment on the Palace Drum Clinic Facebook page. If you're watching a share watch party on someone else's, just pop over to the Palace Drum Clinic page, and you can actually comment on there, because unfortunately I can't see everyone's watch party. So please go to the Palace Drum Clinic page and put your comments in there, and then I can read them out to whoever, or just basically comment about what your mental health basically has been like in the 12 months. Because I know for certain, that Saturday night for me, when we first started this a year ago, would you believe, a year ago to virtually today, we had our first PD chat show, and we didn't really know what was going to happen, and it basically took off from there, and that basically really kept me sane for the next week or so. So there we go. So I'm just going to change my battery on my mic. So I just wanted to, because we haven't heard much from Errol recently. So yes, you've got a question, sir.
Yeah, I just want to, I think what Gary said and what all's been said and Meg said is so really, really powerful. And I just want to share a little story with you regarding one of our own. And one of the things I love is the community of drummers, because it's like we're building a house, we're on a mission, and we're all on our way to sort of like achieving that. And I love the teamwork. But I'll get onto the point of Jose Joyet is drummed last year, and he's a child protege. I mean, I knew him when he was sort of like, and his dad, when he was sort of like around about, say, 12 and going on to 15. He's recorded in my studio before with my son when I first started. I got my son after he finished uni, came and said to me, "Dad, I don't want to do that now. I just want to play music." And so that's what he did. And Jose, when I kind of moved over, I got Jose to come and play drums. And he's an amazing guy. He's an amazing person. He's so multi-talented. I'll get to the point, and I'm feeling really emotional about that. Through this pandemic, and certain pressures, as Gary was saying, have come on him and put him into a mental state. and he was on the streets. He got robbed, he got beaten up, his phone he went through an awful lot of stuff. And there were so many drummer friends. The family was out there caring and looking for him. We all found him. And Drumathon has given him a purpose, and he's actually coming back to do 12 hours of Drumathon. And it's been his major purpose, because when we spoke, and we've spoken an awful lot, and he said to me, Errol, I'm so happy and be proud that Drumathon is there, because it's given me a purpose to get me out of it. I've got something to focus on, because I've been in such a dark place, and I'm putting it out there to the whole Drumathon family, which is all of you coming to. We're trying to earn a lot of money for mental health, and it's such a good thing to do because it's doing so many good. But the point is, it's reflected back on one of us in the Drumathon family, and I think it's absolutely incredible. And when you see Jose play, he goes to another place, and this has been said before. I mean, I know I've been on. I've been on stage, and spiritually, I can tell you this, that I felt I'm so into the music, so centered in it. I know exactly what's going on, but it's like I've grown wings. Have you felt that spiritual? It's like you've ascended. The music's just taking you to that next level. And when Jose plays, he seems to find that place every time, just like that. He's incredible, and he's one of these guys that needs. When you see him play, just look at his face and look what he does. He's incredible. And I will kind of wind it down by saying, I'm emotionally, when I'm saying this now, I'm so happy, because there was a time with Jose that we thought he was going to die, really, in these last few weeks. And it's such a turnaround, but it's this Drumathon. It's you guys that are here, pushing the whole thing forward, and I'm so proud of you guys. Honestly, bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Just a quick hi from Angie Smith. Hello, Stuart, Angela. Stuart, yeah, Stuart. You're Stuart. Yeah. From Angie Smith.
Angie.
Yeah, Angie. She says hello. So
Hi, Angie.
Thanks for watching. We've talked a lot about, it's like, we're trying to raise money, we're donating, stuff like that, but we haven't discussed where we can donate. Bev, where can we donate to this amazing cause?
Well, what you do is you go to www.Drumathon Live, which is our website, and you'll see lots of red buttons. Every time you go to a page, donate. And what it does, it's the simplest way, actually, to get through to the donate page. You can also find us on Virgin Money Giving, and it's the drumathon.live there as well. And the fantastic news today is, I mean, we last year we raised almost 50. We raised £45,000 last year, the 20 drummers that were involved, and it was incredible. And this year we were really pushed to put £100,000 as our target, because we've already got 50 drummers involved. And I was like, no, let's do a Captain Tom. Let's just put £1,000 and then go through the roof. And everybody's going, no, you've got to be ambitious. You've got to be ambitious. So I did it. But we've just about got 1%. We're 1% there. We're almost on. Some people have been so generous. A lot of Ali's friends have donated, people who were there for Sharon, which really has moved us, nurses and people like that who've really traveled. And then some people we don't know, and some big fans of all of yours have put money in there. And that's before we played a note. So I think what you're doing already, and through drumming, and like you're saying with the Palace Drum thing at Chat Show as well, drummers are inspiring. It's like they always go at the front line on the battlefield, and this is a bit like that. And we want to bring loads of joy to, loads of dancing and loads of fun as well. But donate, and drum and dance.
Thank you very much for that. I wanted to open up, because obviously everyone's sitting there so patiently. Is there anybody out there who wants to basically just tell us a story about, basically what we're trying to do here, or their own personal kind of lives or anything? Does anyone want to share that with us now?
Okay, I'll share something with you.
Go on in.
All right. I'll tell you how I got into drumming and how drumming is sort of like influenced my family. I mean, everybody in my family, through this is what drumming's brought to me. I was born in Jamaica. I'll try and be quick about this. And I left Jamaica when I was 9, and I got into where I was born in Montego Bay. Every day, as soon as you wake up, there's music playing all the time. Big bands, all kinds of different music playing. And when I came to this country, my passport was stolen. I was stuck in a room while my parents were working, and I couldn't go to school because I had to get my birth certificate back. So I grabbed 2 sticks, I put on the radio, and I just started to drum away. And that just kept me insane. I mean, sane and
insane.
Insane. And it moved me on to things like the Boys Brigade, and then I joined the ATC. And all my friends that were around me at the time, none of them knew that I actually played an instrument. I just kept it really secret at the time. But I went into the ATC and drum there because I used to love uniforms and the whole thing. But then from there, I got, I encouraged my sister to sing. My brother plays sax. And my sister was the first singer or black woman to have her own TV show back in the late 70s to the 80s. Her name was Grace Kennedy. But I used to take her to singing lessons when she was sort of like 8. And by the time she was 17, the music just flowed through her and she just moved on. Anyway, I just wanted to say to you, this is just the power of music and the power of drums. And I noticed through all the drummers that you all are teaching, you're all passing your knowledge on, you all inspire. This is what drummers do. There's that special thing about drummers. You encourage. And it's a great family. It's a great thing to be, lots of people like to be leasing or the lead guitars, but drummers are incredible.
And I think just to chip in there, it started with 2 sticks. And, that's what's great. You don't have to have a lot of money. You can play, like, I don't know if you've seen that kid on YouTube. It's just he hits the furniture and he's got it. You don't need to have money to drum.
Yeah.
I've got to tell you something. It just dawned on me because I come from a musical family. Mum played piano, Dad used to play bass, and I used to listen to stuff at home. And my 2 sisters and I, and Mum and Dad, we would go out doing gigs and singing. And apart from the fact that my first real albums that I'd be listening to was the first double album was Ray Connell, I think it was. Which was awful, and Val Doonigan. I was absolutely playing drums to Val Doonigan. It's one of those things that as you start to grow up, you think, I remember being on stage with Steve Hackett playing the music of Genesis, some of which was in 11 and some was in 7, 8, and all this crazy stuff. And I remember thinking in the midst of all that, in that spiritual moment, as you were talking about, Errol, I was kind of thinking, how did this all start from Val Doonigan?
Yeah.
I would like to say something. Sorry, Matt. No, all I was going to say was just everyone's talking about how drumming has helped them and got them involved. Well, I find that in 2003 I done my first world record, and I've always done world records raising money for various charities that mean very close to me or to my friends or to my families. And what I found was that when there was someone in need, I felt that the only way that I could do something was raise awareness, raise money for charity by doing a drumming world record. And I find that, where music's coming into things, it brought a lot of people together. I made an awful lot of friends out of it. And I think that we're all putting ourselves to the risk of injury by playing 12 hours, by playing 4 hours, playing hours that we wouldn't normally play on a gig. And I think that it's just fantastic for us group of Drumathon drummers that we're able to do something again now for charity, and we're just doing this for everybody who's out there, and hopefully that the music will bring us all together.
Thank you very much. Can I just, because I usually don't say anything from this, oh yeah, it's Emma, thanks so much for joining us. Did you want to say anything before leaving at all?
Just thanks for me. Thanks for having me on. It's just been so nice to see all your smiling faces. That's just really cheered me up today. So
great, excellent. Well, good luck with your stint, and let's fingers crossed for raising a lot of money because what we're doing. So, good luck, and we'll speak to you soon. Thanks, Emma. Thanks a lot. Bye bye. Yeah, I just want to share this with everyone because not a lot of people actually know this. We're now literally May is always the Palace Drum Clinic's it's like birthday. It was the 17th of May. We had actually our first ever one with a dear friend, amazing drummer, Ian Palmer, started us all off. As the format as it is now, with the whole clinic side and all that. What people don't actually realise is basically only a few weeks before that, my daughter, who was actually 4 last weekend, was premature. She was 32 weeks, but she was the size of 26. She was £1.10.
Wow.
To put it into perspective, 3 blocks of butter, 755 grams.
Wow.
And obviously couldn't do anything. My wife was actually amazing, obviously the way that, and she actually spent 7 weeks, virtually 7 weeks in hospital. Rachel spent a lot of time with that in there. But obviously I organised this first PD drum clinic, and obviously we sold very well, and people obviously wanted to do it. Because of that, we just had to go ahead with it. And do you know what? Because of basically sitting behind that drum kit, seeing all those people wanting to be inspired, want to hear your stories, want to see where you got to and everything else, it put a completely twist on everything. And that really helped me. My drums, basically music in total, actually, as Errol said, have you ever been to, yeah, several times. I've been absolutely, you say you've got the wings on, and then all of a sudden you get sweaty. Many moments I've had that. I've been crying my eyes out during gigs. A lot of people on the PD Chat Show knows, and the clinic, so I do a lot of classical music as well, and I've literally bawled my eyes off during playing, because it's so passionate, the whole music element of what we do, and it's amazing. But yeah, so not a lot of people actually know that about actually how the PDC started and how much obviously headspace I was not in and starting up this whole kind of PDC, but because of the drums. And I think it's especially music as well, because obviously I always say, I'm a musician, and then you basically say what your instrument is, and I think we have to do it that way, because obviously, we're all very biased. We always have the best instruments. I'm looking around this, and I'm looking at my drums and going, this is my first, this one, I don't actually play this one, but this was my very first professional kit at the age of 12. I bought it off my uncle, and I'll never sell it, because it's too shiny. I'm like a magpie. But I'm looking at the other ones that I play regularly, and so my vintage ones and all that. And they're what looks like they're beautiful instruments to look at. And then when you get someone sitting behind them who can actually play them, you see what a wonderful sound and creation they can make. I do believe we have another person going to be joining us very shortly. So can you bring them on, Paul, please? Now, this person, I do believe, actually is not participating in the actual Drumathon, but Colin, welcome. Mr. Colin Walway.
Colin!
Colin.
There we are. Cheers. Good health.
Hey.
Hi, Colin.
Cheers. Yeah. Now, Colin, you're not actually involved in this year's 2021 playing-wise, but you're going to be an avid supporter. You're going to be sharing this, across the many millions that minions I should have following you.
Minions?
Yeah, millions. Yeah, millions of millions. Can you just basically give us for someone who's obviously, very well known, educator, writer, and everything else. That is you, yeah. Oh. Yeah. It's your own fault. You started up something. You can't get.
Maybe someone else walked in.
Gary's over the other side of the screen. It's fine. Can you just give, as an outsider this year, what you're trying to achieve here in your eyes?
What, with the Drumathon?
Yeah, with the Drumathon. Yeah, not the chat. Drumathon. Yeah.
I heard about it last year from Vince Dunn, but for one reason or another, I didn't get involved. There was a lot going on, and this year, a guy called Stuart Hardy tipped me off to it, and
directly above your head.
So I had a look, and it's supporting mental health charities. Now we all know that coming out of the pandemic, we all know that mental health is at the forefront of issues to be dealt with coming out of this COVID pandemic. It's a huge deal. We all know that. One of my sons is autistic, so I've had a lot to do over the past. He was diagnosed like 18 years ago, so we've had a lot to do with that as well. So when it's something that's a bit close to your heart, as well as something that's tangibly, palpably affecting this whole country, and children coming up with some serious issues, and we all know that if we need our children to be well, for us to all to be well in 30 years' time, whoever of us are left. And so I wanted to do something. And my problem is that I'm not really well enough at the moment to do what a lot of people are doing, like play the drums for a long period of time. I'm not really up for it at the moment. But I got in touch with Errol and Bev, specifically Bev because she answered the phone. And
she does.
I'm going to say this in front of you guys. We had such a lovely chat. That from the beginning of that conversation to the end of that conversation, I was convinced that I wanted to just do something, and Bev was kind enough to say, look, you give us a clue what you think you can do, and we'll tell you if it will work. So what I'm going to do, Matt and everybody else, I have recorded a piece, which is about 6 minutes long, which I played over there. I'm going to supply 2 tracks, one of which I've sent you. Sorry, I'm looking at Bev and Errol now. Hello, Errol. We haven't met yet.
It's so lovely to meet you.
Great to see you.
So great.
Fantastic.
I have
thank you for
one
sending
track.
that.
I'm going to send you another track.
Brilliant.
And some photographs and things. So my contribution will probably be the smallest contribution of everybody's, but it'll be basically me playing some drums and then a couple of tracks that I've played on, and that's as much as I can do at the moment. But maybe next year I'll be able to play for more than 5 fucking minutes,
Now, brilliant what you're doing.
Honestly, I mean, you're in recovery from a major operation less than 3 weeks ago, and it's just amazing what you're offering to do for us, and we just can't thank you enough. Because
what you're doing is amazing, and thank you for letting me to just even do that much. I was fully expecting you to say, oh no, that quality isn't good enough, or no, it's too short, really. We've got people doing 3 hours and that sort of thing. But what you're doing is absolutely fantastic, and I'm really pleased to be able to just do that much to support that, and I'll say it again, mental health is a big deal. It's a bigger deal this year than it's ever been, I think, because of the unique situation we find ourselves in. And so the more we can, and I'll be honest with you, if I'm really honest, the NHS has a lot of support. I know that's what you did last year. There's a lot of support again, and there should be more. And we have a government that should be doing more. When it comes to mental health, there's a lot we can do. There is no national mental health. It's a thing that we can help with. It's a thing we can all help with. And there are lots of charities that all need our support. So personally, I felt I could really get behind this, and I wish I could do more. But
you're doing more than enough.
This will make you laugh. I told you this will make you laugh. When I mentioned to my wife that there's a place in Basingstoke that she freaked out. She absolutely, you are not doing that.
Next year.
So she's really grateful too that you've allowed me to just do this.
Yeah, I think what it is, obviously, the people on the screen, obviously, apart from Colin at the moment, we've entered into this epic event that's going to hopefully change a lot of people's lives, not necessarily monetary-wise, but maybe awareness as well. But it's people like Colin and everybody else who are actually supporting it, is basically giving us encouragement to actually do this event. And I think just to thank you for the people out there, obviously, who's watching tonight. So Mel Jane, thank you again for watching. It's without you guys, we would not do this anyway. You know, we're the kind of people that we want to get out. We want to play our music to everybody because we share. We share, and you know, we love getting things back as well. So it's that kind of thing that because we have our supporters, because we're entering a marathon, and it's an amazing marathon. And so Ali will be the first one to put his hand up. Without the supporters, it is a task and a half, isn't it? But when you got those cheerings, like as you can tell from my body physique, I've never ran a marathon. I've got dodgy knees, so I can't.
You look pretty good to me.
That's very good, Colin.
From the waist up.
Yeah, you should sit down here. Yeah. So £10 on the way, thanks, mate. But it's that kind of thing. I've actually supported some dear friends of mine doing marathons. You know, I think I've actually done a marathon myself, actually watching them, like London Marathon. But they have always said, it's like when they get to that kind of that energy level which just dips, it's the supporters that basically brings them back up again, and they finish on such a high. And I know throughout this, you know, people are going to be watching this, and I do believe that it's going to be streamed on the website as well, isn't it? So everybody can watch everyone via the website. And for people out there as well watching, you will see there's a bar going across the bottom of the screen. Does you every when it starts, when it finishes, where you can go to donate, the website and everything else, and also you can see there. So it's at the bottom of the screen going off for the moment. But yeah, so thank you very much, guys, for actually supporting us. You know, my mum and dad basically, well, I think it might be my dad. My mum might be asleep now, bless her. But it's, you know, he's there watching me every single day, and he tells me, it's like, oh, that was an interesting chat show you had. You know, but they've been our, you know, without them, I would not be sitting here, and obviously for your parents, you would not be sitting there. So, you know, without our supporters, and I know that we're going to have some amazing support doing this this amazing Drumathon, which is going to happen in 14 and a half and 10 minutes. 14 and a half days and 10 minutes. So again, I've just...
So when you mentioned a bar...
Sorry, bar?
I misinterpreted what you meant by a bar.
The bar at the bottom of the screen, you won't see it because it's going live on Facebook. There's a bar at the bottom of the screen, basically scrolling...
I thought it was a free bar.
Facebook, you can see it. It's not the bar to have a drink, Colin. You've already got those. The bar at the bottom of the screen.
I'd have done longer if I'd known.
Can you imagine Colin in a scrolling bar? That'd be fun. But no, thanks, guys. Is there anyone? Ali, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I just want to say something really quickly. I have a best friend, Duncan. He's watching this now. You're saying about support. I have this guy who has been there with me every single hour that I've done in world records, and it's the likes of the support that you have, your friends, your family, new people that take an interest in what you're doing. They do get you through the real hard times. He's got me through every hour that I've done before. When I've been ready for dropping the sticks, quitting everything, he just shouts at me, keeps me going. But Drumathon last year, what we noticed was whilst we were all playing, we were still chatting through the WhatsApp group, encouraging each other, giving each other a lot of support, hints and tips, whatever we could do to allow people to feel like they were going to get through to the last hour that they were playing. So I think, yeah, support is massive, and this is a bigger year than last year for the people that are watching this and the people that are going to support us during the week of Drumathon. It's unbelievable. And I feel very privileged to be part of it all.
Thank you. Man, excellent. And we need to get on Facebook and Instagram and everything and promote this as much as we can now.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what it's all about. And I think it's about getting people to come to Drumathon.live and really encourage that, because that's the way you can watch the Drumathon and see everybody, you know, contributing. And the way people to donate, and we've got to raise as much as we can for mental health, and this is what this is all about. So I think, you know, if we can spread the word of Drumathon.live and to everybody, and just encourage everybody to share it, then I think it's going to help more awareness, and we will reach our goal, because we're on a mission just now.
Yeah. And what's great, just to feed in, Matt, you know, like Colin was saying, you know, it's like every little bit counts. You know, there's a lovely lady called Chrissy Lee, who's
Chrissy Lee. We love Chrissy.
She's going to be doing a little, you know, she's 78 now and she's off the hook.
She is.
And she's going to do a little I mean, she was going to do the whole lot, but I've said, no,
No.
just do
No.
something. That's right.
Big
But you
heart,
know,
big
and at the
heart.
other end,
Her
at the
Zimmer
other
frame
end
will
of the
collapse.
scale, as well as her, who's got a heart of gold, we've also got really beautiful people like Will Champion from Coldplay and John Beavis from the Idols, and they have got hearts of gold, and they just happen to be in big bands at the moment that are playing Glastonbury live streaming. So they're going to have their big audiences as well that we hope might tap into what we're doing as well. And we're all, what I'm saying is everyone's as important as each other.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter whether you've got a big, you know, all of us, I think by now have been up and down and up and down. We know what it's like to be at the top and the bottom and in between and everywhere else. But it's, you know, it's just great that these guys are getting behind us as well. And we've got Nick Hodgson from the Kaisers and Ian Matthews from Kasabian.
What I'll do, Bev, should I actually, because I've got the list in front of me, actually who's involved here. I think we should have a list of basically, I'll read it out. So some of these guys are on the screen at the moment. Some of them have been on the screen. And obviously some of them may come in. We've only got 7 minutes left. But, you know, whatever they're doing, we're all doing an amazing job. So, Errol Kennedy, Will Champion, John Beers, Tom Cole, Matt Green, don't know who he is. Paul Stewart, Sherry Sosley, Terrell Brightman, Nolan Lederman, Vince Dunn, Nick Hodgson, Ian Matthews, Phil Gold, Jerry Brown, Derek McKenzie, Jack Hesselwood, Gladys Magal, Mal Gland, sorry, Romy Fox, Vicky, who was obviously earlier from Finland, Dom Joseph, Owain Evans, Jason Cooper, Holly Madge, Meglir Moth, Nahir, from Argentina, one of our friends from obviously the PD chat show, from PD Instagram stuff. Who we have? Mari Newbury, Mel Gaynor, Loz Colbert was here, Ali Brown, Rob Bryan, who'd be familiar to everyone on the PD chat show. Mike Roy, Paul Hanley, Nigel Powell, Stuart Hanley, Emma Brooke, Bahol Brooke, Tim Reynolds, Jose, Joyette, Vincenzo, basically right in front of me there. John Howes, Giuseppe from Italy, Toby Howes, Gary O'Toole, Victor Jolson, Mert Merrin from Belgium, and Demenza Mathia as well.
On that one, Demelza, she's got a team. They're going to do a tag team from Brighton. And there's Liam Keeley from the Black Peaks, John Gillingham and Simona Ardaranal. And the four of them are going to tag. So it's going to be non-stop for 12 hours. There's no toilet breaks on that one.
And there's also other ones who may do it as well. I won't read those ones out. But there's still plenty more maybe to come. Because just over 14 and a half days before we start this amazing journey, which is the Drumathon 2021. Now, guys, thank you very much. We're obviously coming to the end. You know,
I need to say hello to some of my friends here. I've only just seen all the pictures. I just pressed the button that says gallery.
Oh.
Stuart, Gary, O'Toole.
Yeah, there.
Roy, Ali.
That's what I was saying. Stuart's above you because
Colin.
Yeah.
Vincent down there. Gary, you owe me a pizza. At least.
Yeah, you're on, mate. You're on.
This is what it's all about, bringing drummers together, especially when they owe people money. It's fantastic.
Pizzas.
I just realised where I am.
We've only got a few minutes, and we know where you live, Colin. We've only got a few minutes left.
No, someone does.
It's written in your T-shirt, so basically we just put your face up, and we know where you live. We have only a few minutes, so thank you very much, guys, for watching. Still get your comments in if you want to give any of these guys, amazing people, any some encouragement, some words of encouragement, or just basically say hi, or any kind of thing. You've only got a few minutes left. As we well know, this hour, 90 minutes goes past so quickly. But there's a couple of thank yous. First of all, someone that you don't see who's behind the scene, who is obviously part of the new PDC family. It's Paul Edwins. He's our amazing, does all the videography and everything else. So Paul, what you haven't seen is that all these guys have chatted to Paul before they came on screen, and then basically he's doing all the amazing work you see actually with the streaming. So thank you very much, Paul, for that. I think we cannot leave without giving two amazing people with the most amazing energy and personality to get something on this stuff. So Errol and Bev, can I just say this from everyone? Thank you. Thank you for basically putting us in touch with all of our guys here on the screen and who's been on the screen and who's going to be involved actually in the Drumathon 2021. You guys, your energy, your enthusiasm, your love and your humanity as well, it's amazing, and we all love you. We all love you dearly, and what an amazing thing you've done here, and hopefully it's going to be a legacy to carry on for many, many years. So thank you very much from the drumming community, and I say that from the bottom of my heart, from every drummer that's going to be involved and all the other drummers that basically will be touched by this. So thank you ever so much for that. You've been amazing. Thank you for everyone who stayed here. Mike, Meg, Nigel, Stewart, Gary, Mike Roy. Oh, well said, Matt. Yeah, thank you very much. I'm reading everyone's messages here. Thank you very so much, Vincenzo. Thank you. And Colin, thank you for joining us and giving us some amazing...
Thank you for waking me up.
That's all right, no.
Thank you, Matt.
Matt, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Matt.
Thank you, guys. My phrase to everyone, we're all in this together. What we do, we are all this together. We are an amazing a community group of people that we just basically want to hang out. And when we do, I'm going to invite everybody, because obviously, hopefully, maybe in a few weeks' time, apparently we can hug people again, which will be nice. Family and friends. I've got a lot of friends, so I might have to put some weight on so I can get huggable again. Everyone is invited who is involved in the Drumathon to come over in the middle of the country, which is Redditch, which is the home, obviously, of John Bonham. His statue is literally just outside where we are now. I've got a massive space. Everyone's going to come down here, and we're going to have a massive party and celebrate what is a massive achievement. So everyone's going to welcome, and then it's going to be open up to everyone else who wants to come and basically still donate, because obviously the donate button will still be there after the event as well. So we are going to have a massive party in the PD cave here in Redditch. So everybody who's watching is invited, and come and meet some special people, which is actually involved in a special event, which is happening literally within 14 days and 10 hours, which is amazing. So there's only one thing to do. Vincenzo has his sticks ready, and we did this not so long ago. So can I just say a big thank you to everyone who's joined us tonight. Thank you very much. Good luck with everything that we're going to be going to do in 14 and a half days when it all kicks off. We'll see you at the end. I know we'll all be watching each other, so giving words of encouragement. Thank you all for coming on the PD Chat Show. Thank you guys for watching, because obviously without you guys, obviously we talk to ourselves. We don't mind, but it's always nice to know that someone else is listening as well. So to play us out, I think, Vincenzo, you need to do this. Here's to start us off. Thanks, Errol and Bev. You're amazing.
Thank you.
2021, Drumathon.live. Go to donate. Vincenzo, is over to you. And we can't hear you.
You're mute.
On mute.
It's on mute.